Greetings, my fellow gamers! It is I, Wraith King, bringing you news from beyond the mirror, from the other world, and today we are reviewing the brand new character, Grumpjaw, from Vainglory. Before I begin, there is a few things I'd like to say to developers. You guys and gals have truly been an amazing staff, really. I don't know who it is replying to my comments in Google Play, but man, they are so friendly. And it's not just them. I've actually emailed the developers before about an idea I had, and they were legitimately interested in it. Like, I've never seen anyone actually interested in my idea. They sent me a link to somewhere else. They said that the developers, they kind of couldn't accept any more new heroes right now, but they said they would like for me to post it somewhere else so that it could be noticed eventually. And I thought that was really, really nice of them to even pay attention to what I was doing, to even care. Some developers just brush me off with my ideas. Like, seriously, I have some interesting ideas for a game. I won't mention its name because I don't want to embarrass them. But anyways, I had an idea for, it was a really cool idea. I drew it up myself because I'm actually an artist. I'm a horror artist. I draw things all the time for people. But I had this interesting idea, and they just ignored it. They didn't say anything. They didn't reply. They didn't say anything to me. Nothing. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, Vainglory, they deal with millions of players every day, and at least they replied to me about my idea, and they gave me links to where I can find out more information about this. I even posted it on their Facebook, for goodness sake. The game I was telling you about earlier, not Vainglory, this other game of this other group of developers. I won't mention their name, as I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to mention their name, but I'm left on their Facebook of this drawing that I made. And other people seemed to like it, but developers didn't say anything. They just ignored me. So that is very rare to find developers that are even remotely interested in other players' ideas and just anything. And they actually listen to their community. Vainglory, the staff of Vainglory, Super Evil Megacorp, they actually listen to their community. People literally screamed at them for an Ozo skin, and there it was. People screamed at him for a 5-on-5 map, and they're making one right now. So they actually listen to their community. MOBA games rarely do that. They rarely do. I've played almost every MOBA game that exists. Almost all of them. And I've had ideas for heroes after idea after idea after idea, and I was never listened to. And countless other people had ideas for heroes, and none of them were listened to either. But yeah, it's a rare occasion when developers actually listen to viewers and their supporters. It's a rare occasion, but Vainglory, the Super Evil Megacorp staff, they really do listen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being the great developers you are. And thank you for listening to us, really. It's a rare occasion when we actually find some great developers that listen to us and actually take an interest in what we think should be added to the game. It really is great. But anyways, without further ado, we're going to get into the review of Grumpjaw. Now, first things first, I'm going to actually mention his ult. His ult is the ability to devour a enemy just for a certain amount of time, and then he spits them out after a few seconds. Now, this ability is common in MOBA games because, well, heroes have had it before, and I don't even think I need to mention it, really, but yeah, it's a common ability. I've seen it before in MOBAs, but unlike most of those MOBA games, Grumpjaw actually doesn't get slowed from devouring the enemy. He does not get slowed. He walks normally, and he can actually dash. So when they're in the stomach, it doesn't last too long, but it lasts long enough for you to get an ace on the enemy team. Like, say you want to remove a tank. Like, you just don't want to fight that tank yet, and he can just eat that tank for at least for a couple good seconds, and that should give you enough time to wipe out their team before the tank can help. So yeah, that's one good strategy. But the reason I brought this up first, his ultimate up first, is because it requires to think less like a warrior. Even though he is kind of a warrior type hero, it requires less thinking of a warrior, but more of thinking like an assassin when you're using Grumpjaw. He fights like a warrior, but you really do need to think like an assassin, meaning you have to understand the way the battlefield works, who to attack first, when to attack first, etc. So yes, it really depends on how you fight as Grumpjaw if you want to get the best out of him. That's what I have experienced as playing as Grumpjaw. But I'm just going to cut to the chase here, because I know you guys and gals out there want to know, is Grumpjaw a good hero? Absolutely. He is very fun to use, he is just all around great, and he's very easy to use at the same time. So he is an excellent hero. I would highly recommend buying him, really I do, because the developers in this game are just straight up cool. So they deserve the feedback, really they do. They're really great, and they always make some really cool new heroes, and it's always good to donate to them. So yes, if you're playing this game, and if you're wondering if you should buy Grumpjaw or not, I would just say yes, go right ahead, do it, it's worth it. But as far as weapons are concerned, you see me here playing around with weapons and items. What I would get for him is lifesteal and damage. So definitely get the new Poison Ivy that was recently added in a few updates ago to the game. And it highly depends on defensive items, as most of you already know. But I would still pick up a Crucible or for boots, probably War Treads. Just build a lot of max HP for him, because he can be a little bit squishy, but if you do build the right defensive items, he can make an excellent warrior. But yes, he does fight a lot like a warrior, but you really do need to think like an assassin when you're using him, because he can deal some serious burst damage, and he can really turn the tides of battle. As you can see right there, my friend was about to get killed by that ult, and he canceled out that ult with his. And that's another beautiful thing about his ultimate, is it can cancel other ultimates. Like say Rinko is channeling his ult, which is annoying and I hate it. I hate that ultimate so much. And knowing that he can cancel that really is awesome. That's very useful. But it works mostly with the abilities that channel. But not Rhymes though. When he uses his ability, it's going to happen. It doesn't have anything to do with him. So if you can stun him or do whatever you want to Rhyme while that ability is about to be used, it'll still happen. But abilities that channel and take a moment, those are the abilities you can cancel with Grumpjaw. For example, Joel. What I just showed you a minute ago when my friend was just about to die and Grumpjaw saved the day, that is an excellent example of what he can stun and cancel. And Adagio is another great example too. But Grumpjaw is a great support hero. That's something else you probably are wondering a lot about Grumpjaw. Is that when you take a look at his team utility meter, it's really high, but the rest of his stats aren't all that great, and you're thinking, well, this hero doesn't seem to be all that great, and you're thinking he's more of a support hero, but the truth is, Grumpjaw is actually quite offensive. He fights like a warrior, but as I said before, he plays like an assassin. You have to think like an assassin when you're using Grumpjaw, which means you have to watch and wait for the right moment to jump in the fray, and in some occasions even engage the fight. But you have to wait, you have to be patient, and then you can dissect the battle, and that can actually make you win the game. And an excellent example for this would be Battle Royale, which is why I've decided to play a few games of Battle Royale for you with Grumpjaw, because I can jump right into the action and show you which items you should build quickly if you want to use Grumpjaw on your team. Now here are a few things you want to watch out for Grumpjaw. If you don't like your kills being stolen, and you don't like engaging battles with a squishy character, then Grumpjaw probably isn't the right guy for you. Grumpjaw is a strong support hero. He really is a very strong support hero, and that probably explains why his support meter is so high, is because he is really supportive. In some cases, so supportive, you may actually get yourself killed. Good example right here. My pal Crawl over here wants to take the minion mine, but I don't want the enemy team to catch him and steal the minion mine. So I distract the enemy team by ulting them and then kiting them away from Crawl so he can take the gold mine, which worked, and that earned us some extra points there. But sadly, Crawl engaged them too fast and it ended up allowing them to catch up slightly, but that's okay. That's just fine. Crawl did take that minion mine, and that was a good play from the both of us there. But there is one thing that was a little confusing about Grumpjaw, and it's probably something a lot of players will be getting confused about Grumpjaw, is what type of hero he is. I spoke a little bit about this earlier, but I would like to say something more about it. Grumpjaw is a weird character. He really is odd, and he's hard to get used to, especially if you are an assassin character. You might be able to get it a little faster if you're an assassin hero, but it'll feel kind of strange because he is kind of a warrior and he is kind of an assassin all at the same time. And it feels really strange to be using a hero like that. And you see, funny thing about Vainglory is they're really good at making characters different from any other character on any other MOBA game. Like, they're really good at doing that, making characters completely new and different, and that's what Grumpjaw is. He's different from any other hero I've ever used in a MOBA game before, and I have played a lot of MOBA games. But after a few matches, I started to see what type of hero he really was. Yes, he's incredibly different from any other hero I've used, but I was understanding that he is kind of a mix of an assassin and a warrior, and then I started adapting to that and realizing that I can change the tides of battle with this kind of hero. And then after I got used to that, I started getting a lot better with Grumpjaw. I started getting way less deaths. I started to get way more kills. I started winning these games. And I really started just falling in love with this character so much because I realized what type of hero Grumpjaw actually was. And after I found this out, as you can see, I just started just using him just normally. It just felt natural to be really good with him because he's such an easy character to figure out. Once you figured him out, it's gonna feel weird, but you're gonna figure him out fast, and it's just gonna feel good. You're just gonna get used to it quickly, and you're just gonna get used to that odd water, and it's just gonna feel so good after that. You're gonna win so many games, and it's just gonna be perfect for you. But yes, he is an amazing hero after you get used to him, and that will not take long. Even for newer players that never played a MOBA game before will love Grumpjaw. He is definitely easy to use, but a little weird at first, so I have to warn you about the little weird at the beginning. But anyways, that is my review on Grumpjaw. He is an excellent new character, perfect, I love him. He is a little strange, especially when you take a look at his stats, and as I said before so many times, he does have a weird feeling to him when you just start using him, but after you get used to it, he becomes an amazing hero. Absolutely amazing. And I am honored that I got to review him for you, my fellow gamers, and you developers of Vainglory. Super Evil Megacorp, I hope you guys are watching this because I enjoy your game a lot. I really do. I have a lot of fun with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and please do take it easy for me, alright? Bye.